Got two Beths on my screen. I got a Catherine, I got a Val, a Leslie. Obbs is in the house. Okay, good. A lot of people showing up. Supplements is a good one. I'm excited for this one. I have I'll dive right in. Well, I'm not going to dive right in. This looks like people are trickling in. We might get people trickling in at 6:30 that thought the call was at 6:30 tonight. But I sent out a calendar, so that's on them. Did you save the calendar, Beth?
Yes.
Yes. Smart, smart. And there's my dog.
Oh,
You want to talk? No, he's ready. He's ready for dinner when the wife gets home. Let's see. Good. More people popping on, or we might have a small crew tonight. Either way, I'm here for those that are here. It's recording for everybody else. How's everybody's week going so far? Any wins? Any losses? Am I the only one going to talk again tonight?
I got my knees injected today.
How was that?
Oh, just fantastic.
That sounded very sarcastic.
Not one bit. Every 3 months
Every 3 months.
till I have knee replacement. So,
Can get you there
yep,
to that finish line.
yep.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. Knees are good. Krista's been released from PT, so I'm excited for her. Val's planning her next trip to come visit me. Are you? So throw in the chat right now. If you take
Of
any
course.
supplements, if you want to share, if you take any supplements, what you take, just let me know. Let me know, Val. I know your list is long and extensive.
Yes, I have a lot. You
But
want them all?
before I jump into the slides, let's get y'all talking a little bit. Let me know if you take anything, what you like. Bethany's scale is moving. I didn't look at it yet today. Or just yell it out.
Finally, it's going a little bit.
You don't have much to go. I'm telling you,
I know, but after going down to as many calories as I'm at, I'm like, come on, it's got to do something. I need some wiggle room before Disney. You know how that goes.
wiggle room before Disney. I support it. I
Hmm.
support it. Oregano oil. Oh, I didn't cover that. Dale takes creatine, magnesium, ashwagandha, probiotics, vitamins K and D, fish oil and oregano, ZMA, triple magnesium. Okay. B6, D3, and creatine. All right. We got a solid list going. Solid list. I'm going to sidetrack my brain for a second, just check and see. Okay. My wife is on the way home. It is pouring in Orlando, so I'm going to kind of check on her location a few times while we chat tonight because it is like gnarly. If I lose service, I apologize. If my internet goes out, my power goes out, that's going to be awful. But let's just jump in. Let's jump into the supplements, make sure I got my chat open. Ooh, fiber. I didn't put fiber in there. It's pouring here too and cold. We have flash floods in Michigan. Oh man. It's I drove through a torrential downpour to get home. It calmed down. It was beautiful, and then it followed me home apparently. Now let's do a little, let me go presenter mode, screen share. Ba, ba, ba. Technology. Present. Present full screen. Present. There we go. Send some to Nashville. You don't want this rain. You don't want this rain. And we're gonna share screen. You can yell out tonight. We got a small crew, so I'm not too worried about background noise. Yell out tonight. You know, if you got something, question, if I need to mute you, I'll mute you. Can we see my screen?
Nope.
No, you can't. Oh, thanks, Krista. Share. Desktop two. How
There you
now?
go.
There we go. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. My Zoom window went crazy, but if you can see my screen, we're cool. All right. Boom. Now look at my little Zoom thing. Not too much on the agenda tonight. Introduction, supplement breakdown. I think I got like 27 supplements on there. And then we'll leave room for the Q&A at the end. Real questions. Should I take supplements? They're not necessary. They're not necessary. They are a little added benefit. as I go through the benefits, if you see, hey, I'm lacking there, might be good to incorporate that. What supplements should I take? I'll give you a little of the why on each of the supplements, each of the big ones, and a couple of the not so big ones. But the real talk, you cannot out supplement a bad diet. You can fill in the gaps. So that's what I look for. I just got off the phone with one of my one-on-ones, and she was telling me, she's got a very simple stack, D3 and K2, magnesium, but she also takes, which I didn't put on here, greens powder and a reds powder, just to kind of fill in the gaps from any of the fruits and vegetables that she's not taking in. So they're really good to fill in the gaps, but don't rely on them. Heavy emphasis on there is no magic bullet supplement. I'll give you the one that's like the closest to the silver bullet that's out there, but there is no outside of a GLP-1, there's no fat loss magic, just silver bullet one that's just going to shed fat away. Most of those are caffeine based, but you can add things in and help improve performance, improve nutrition, and overall just improve how you feel. Let's go right into the first one. So protein, that's one of the simplest ones out there. Biggest form you'll probably see is whey protein. Whey protein, it's pretty much the gold standard on anybody in the fitness industry, what they generally take, unless it's nighttime. You might see casein protein. That one's a little slower digesting. People take it as a night protein just because it stays in the system. Made a little more popular by the bodybuilder style people. You forgot whey protein was a supplement, Jenny, but more popular with the bodybuilding on the casein because they just want to keep their body just full of protein. One of the most studied in the world, high nutritional value, various benefits, concentrate, isolate, hydrolysate, and concentrate is the most common and most affordable. When you're trying to protein powder, listen to your body. I've taken more brands than I care to admit, and not all of them digest well. You might see yourself bloated, you might not feel well, you might get gassy, you might be in the restroom a little too much. That one doesn't agree with your body. They probably put a little too much filler in it, and it's best to best to jump onto something new. Um, that extra protein does promote muscle growth, may help lower blood pressure with that, may help with type 2 diabetes by moderating blood sugar, may reduce inflammation. Don't rely on it. So, you know, my protein goal, and I'm a very creature of habit, my protein goal is at 215 grams right now. I just adjusted 215. Hard to get that all from real food. So after the gym, I'll have a protein just so I can get something in me quick, start the refueling, rebuilding process, but try not to rely on it too much. We jump from protein, pre-workout. So I'm going to touch on just the topic of pre-workout, and then when it go right into a lot of what is in pre-workout. I generally have a pre-workout in the house, but I don't always take a pre-workout. I blend my own, and all of the ingredients I blend with are going to be focused on tonight. I'll talk about all of them. So it's designed to enhance performance by providing a boost in energy, strength, and focus. The vast majority of pre-workouts you're going to find out there are loaded with caffeine. They're loaded with caffeine, so they give you that kick. Increased energy, first benefit, increased energy due to caffeine content. You'll see some enhanced strength and endurance due to creatine and beta alanine content, which I'll talk about both of those later. Improved focus with some of them due to L-theanine. I don't think I added L-theanine, but that's a good one for improving your focus, calming you down. Same with L-tyrosine. Reduce muscle soreness. So if your pre-workout has a high BCAA content, really good for helping with the muscle soreness. Enhance blood flow. This is the big one for pre-workouts. So they have nitric oxide boosters, such as L-arginine and L-citrulline. I will dive into those and just help with that enhanced nutrient delivery because of the additional blood flow. Base ingredients are almost always going to be L-arginine and L-citrulline and caffeine in a pre-workout. My poor dog, I'm like just tapping him as I'm talking to you, like he's a little drum in my lap. But those are the main ones you'll see. Two of them to be aware of. So the supplement industry, pre-workout scares me. I'll touch kind of on what you could incorporate, Amy, on what you can incorporate if you want a little extra boost, and which one, to do it without that extra kick. Because I 20s and just getting started, people were just taking it like crazy. Then you look at the ingredients 10 years later, I'm like, how did I put that in my body? Oh my God. But two of the big things you'll see is the niacin content on some of them. Niacin, and this, for anybody that has kids out here, I cannot remember who I spoke to about this. I apologize, but their son was starting to take a pre-workout, and she's like, he loves it, but I'm a little concerned about it. It makes his skin itchy, and he feels like he's burning up, and he's red, and like he just felt itchy. Niacin does that. So niacin has a flushing sensation. The inside of your ears will itch, your face will itch, your every it it's uncomfortable, but it also is something that mentally makes people feel like that pre-workout is working. It's, oh my God, I feel this. Like when you can feel it in your skin, people eat it up. So that's one of the ones. Beta alanine also has a very softer effect of that, probably 10% of what niacin does there. But if you ever feel that and you're somebody that's prone to anxiety, that could freak you out. It could definitely light you up. You're like, oh my God, this stuff's not good for me. My skin feels like it's gonna fall off. It's not, it's niacin flush. And niacin, I'm gonna mess up the B. It's B3. B3. So it plays a role in metabolism, helps convert food to energy, so good for digestion. Not a bad thing. If you wanted to incorporate niacin, you can get flush-free niacin. So that's also available. But those ones designed to give you a little kick. So I probably about 5, 6, 7 years ago started blending my own pre-workout with the ingredients that I wanted just to avoid that. I also like a big old cup of coffee in the morning, so I don't need any more 300 grams of caffeine in my coffee or 250. I don't need a pre-workout that's loaded with caffeine. I'll have a heart attack, and then y'all be wondering where I'm at next Monday. Val be wondering where I'm at Friday. Creatine. This is probably, so there's gonna be three I talk about tonight. I don't know if I want to save this to the end. There'll be three I talk about tonight that as long as you're, and I should have opened with this, as long as your doctor says you have no contraindications, that like no reason to not take any of these, then I would recommend three certain. Always check with your doctor as you're introducing supplements. Always listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, probably should stop taking it. Um, but creatine is one of the three I would say everyone should incorporate. Everyone should incorporate. It's the most extensively studied nutritional supplement out there, countless studies on it, and it's proven to improve exercise performance for a whole host of reasons. It helps the muscle cells produce more energy, boosts the formation of proteins that increase the size of muscle fibers. So a lot of people worry about getting bloated when they take creatine. Doesn't really work like that. What it does is it helps pull water into the muscle, so you won't get, your muscles might look bloated, but your belly's probably not going to look bloated. It's going to suck that water right in the way. I've heard a few women say that they find they're bloating weight after taking it, which you're talking. Yeah, exactly. So the weight might come up, but it's not, if it's water going in your muscles and hydrating your muscles, it's not bad weight. So raises levels of IGF-1, which is a hormone that promotes increases in muscle mass, direct role in ATP, so adenosine triphosphate, that drastically improves high intensity exercise performance. That is the energy pathway that the body likes the most when you are doing high intensity type of work. Speeds muscle growth. This is where things get interesting for me. So 5 grams has been for the longest time. 5 grams. And Denise, I did see your question there. I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to come back to it because it kind of hones in on this and where I'm at right now. So may fight neurological diseases, including Alzheimer's, stroke, epilepsy, and brain injuries, may lower blood sugar and fight diabetes, improves brain function by increasing phosphocreatine stores in the brain, reducing fatigue and tiredness. So 5 grams has been the gold standard, in the fitness industry for a very long time. Everybody said 5 grams, that's what you need. You take 5 grams of creatine every single day, not even just on training days, and it's going to have, you know, it's one of the ones where you will notice a marked difference in your workout performance, endurance wise, strength wise in the first week. You'll just feel better. Now there's a lot of new science saying that 10, 15, 20 grams has all of these neurological benefits. They're doing tons of studies on it now where I know countless people that are taking up to 20 grams. I actually was just listening to a guy today. He's taking 30 grams a day. I haven't heard going that far. The only issue some people see there, coming back to Denise's question, so 5 grams is going to be your standard before a workout is when I would take it. So that's when I've taken it for years. About 6 months ago, I started throwing it into my post-workout protein. So I got up to 10 grams. About a couple weeks ago, I took it up to 15 grams. Today was the first day I took 20 grams. And I think sometimes your brain, it just buys into this stuff. And you're like, I felt just sharp and alive and good and golden and smiling today. So I'm on board with it, but spread it throughout the day. One thing you could notice if you try to load up 20 grams in your pre-workout is that you find yourself on the potty a little more, than you're used to. So I don't want to get blamed for making you be on the toilet all day. Just on lifting days or other workouts as well, I would take it every single day based on the benefits there. They used to recommend, because it saturates your muscle, they used to recommend you do a loading phase of 10 to 15 grams for the first week. And then the loading phase science kind of went away. They said there's no extra benefit there, but it's one of those ones you could take daily. When Kim was on the vegetarian train, I got her onto that because her energy levels were dropping. I got her taking creatine and her energy levels came up within a couple weeks. But that's number one of the three I would say to incorporate if you're not already. So back onto the pre-workout ones, creatine's one of the ingredients in there. L-arginine is a non-essential amino acid that your body can produce on its own. So your body can make it, but this is a precursor to nitric oxide. So your body needs that to maintain elasticity in not the arteries and blood vessels. It can support aerobic and anaerobic capacity. So when you hear people talk about the pump in the gym and, oh, I took this pre-workout, it gave me a really great pump. Give me a really great pump. It's probably because they've got some L-arginine in there. You feel, you can kind of feel the blood going a little better. Helps keep blood pressure in an optimal range, improves libido, supports healthy blood glucose metabolism, and can support kidney functions. I actually don't use the brand of the picture I have, but I know somebody asked about brands earlier on in the chat. After I created the whole slideshow, I made a list of each one and the brands that I have personally tried and not had issues with it. So there's a link to everyone if you want to check it out. Most of them are Amazon links, some are First Form links, but I will never send you a link to anything I haven't tried myself. Being said, always talk to a doctor. L-arginine's sister, I guess you would call it. I would increase water intake a little bit. I would increase water intake definitely, Dale. Just because it's pulling water in the muscles, and you'll be able to tell if you get cramped. But I doubt you'll get cramped from a 5-gram dosage. L-citrulline, another one I blend into my own pre-workout. Amino acid that plays a role in the body's production of nitric oxide. So again, those two are like brother and sister. They improve blood flow, can lower the blood pressure and reduce risk of cardio disease, increases blood flow to the muscles, so exercise performance goes up, may help to build muscle mass. Another one that does improve cognitive function, such as your memoirs and focus. Just kidding, memory. God, I went through this twice to check for my my spellings. It's okay. It's okay. Carnitine, a lesser known one. Some people may have heard of L-arginine, maybe a little bit citrulline. Carnitine tends to be in there too. That's when I mix it in my pre-workout, but it's another compound the body naturally synthesizes from the amino acids lysine and methionine. This one serves a crucial role in energy metabolism, aids in the transport of long chain fatty acids to the mitochondria. This one, now, anytime I put aids in weight loss, again, not a magic bullet. You're looking at, you prescribe that a lot? Interesting. Interesting, Jenny.
Well, for people who have metabolic disease, yeah.
Okay. All right. I like to hear that. So, aids in weight loss, again, not a magic bullet. You're not going to start taking L-carnitine and drop 20 pounds in a week. Like, it's just nothing out there exists just yet, but it'll help the process. It's one of those things I add in just because if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%, 1% here, 2% from this, that overall 10% of benefits on everything I try, I'll take that. I'll take that little added edge. Helps prevent mental decline and improve markers of learning. Reduces diastolic blood pressure, especially in overweight or obese populations. Improves heart functions and decreases symptoms in people with congestive heart failure. May reduce total LDL cholesterol while increasing HDL cholesterol. Should be pretty easy to tell which cholesterol is the good and the bad one from that comment. But if you need me to answer that, I can. Improves muscle recovery, increases muscle oxygen supply, and improves performance, endurance, and power. It can actually help with depression. This is an interesting one. And reduces fasting blood sugar. I want to make sure I cover them all because I have five that I mix into my own personal pre-workout. And it's bland as all hell. I add LMNT just to get a little bit of that flavor in there. BCAAs is not one, so I don't take BCAAs year round personally. I am going into, because we're on a challenge and I want to, lead by example. I'm really focused on my diet. I'm pretty aggressive on my cut. I have an idea of where I want to take the numbers, and BCAAs help preserve muscle in a cut. So they're essential amino acids. They play a crucial role in muscle metabolism, growth, and repair, the building blocks of muscle tissue. They encourage muscle growth, ease muscle soreness, improve exercise endurance by reducing fatigue and enhancing muscle function, may protect muscle damage during intense exercise, may regulate blood sugar levels and improve insulin sensitivity, can support liver function and reduce oxidative stress. So, BCAAs, when you hear that, it's going to be three different ones that are in there. Branched chain amino acids, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So they're in protein. They're in protein, but some people don't get enough, especially when you're in a cut. So it's good to fill in that gap. My calories are lower than they normally are. So I'm filling the gap, trying to offset that. There's another one I didn't mention on here, essential amino acids. They go hand in hand. Essential, there's more of them. I will pull up the whole list so I don't botch it because I think it is worth covering. Essential, I'm going to pull it up, but I think it is worth covering. There are 9 essentials: histidine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, threonine, tryptophan, and valine. So it's another one that pretty much has all of those same benefits. I'm taking the first, so I just literally started taking these again yesterday because I'm in the cut and I want to just preserve muscle, preserve energy, all that. I sipped the BCAAs while I worked out, and I actually take the first form EAAs as well. And I've been sipping those all day, just kind of getting a little bit into my system throughout the day to kind of save on some of the muscle damage as I go. L-glutamine. Who asked me about L-glutamine the other day? Say it was me or yell it out. I forgot, unless they're not on the call. I have this fear a bunch of people are going to jump on the call in like 5 minutes. But that's okay. If they do, they can watch the replay. So L-glutamine, a naturally occurring amino acid, building block of proteins, essential for many bodily functions. This one's cool because it gets you immune system support. Crucial fuel source for the immune cells. So if you're somebody that gets sick a lot, throw it in there. Supports the production of antibodies and helps regulate inflammation. Inflammation, good in small doses, but you don't want too much inflammation. You definitely don't want chronic inflammation. You know, you get inflammation from running, you get inflammation from lifting. So we want to bring it back down. Muscle growth and recovery aids in, oh my God, aids in the repair and recovery process after exercise by promoting protein synthesis and reducing muscle breakdown. Can reduce muscle soreness. So if you're somebody that says you have the DOMS, Katrina, if you're watching this, I hope you are. L-glutamine, her and I had a long conversation on supplements today. That's one I didn't throw into it, but Katrina, take a look at L-glutamine. Digestive health, so primary fuel source for cells lining the gut, can promote healthy gut flora. So if you have bad digestion, like that's something you might want to throw in the mix. May help regulate blood sugar levels. So it's another one. I'm not actually currently taking it. There's only so much you could take. Not currently taking it, but I may start incorporating it again soon just because I'm very focused on gut health right now. And when I get to those supplements that talk about gut health, I'll tell you why. Just remind me. Beta alanine, that's that one that might give you a mild tingle. That's also my personal pre-workout blend. Non-essential amino acid has several benefits, particularly for athletes. Increases carnosine levels in the muscle. That actually helps buffer your lactic acid. So when you do very high reps and it starts to burn, that is lactic acid building up in the muscles. This helps buffer that and kind of gets rid of that burn. Even though the burn's good, you don't want too much of it because you get exhausted. So you reduce fatigue, improve your performance, improve endurance. Can increase time to exhaustion. So this is one that, if you're a runner, it's probably better if you get exhausted later on. That's a solid benefit there and enhances performance in high intensity activities. Carnosine produced from beta alanine may contribute to muscle growth and strength by promoting muscle protein synthesis and reducing muscle breakdown. So anything that, especially when I'm cutting calories and I'm on that journey and on that stage, anything that can reduce muscle breakdown is going to be a win for me. We don't want it to break down. And also, I mean, that carries on into, as you hit the, 40, 50 plus mark, age-related sarcopenia, just you getting older, muscle breaks down about 1% a year. So that's why we get older, we get weaker. I'm trying to offset that as much as possible. Offset as much as I can. May have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. May improve cognitive function and protect against neurodegenerative disease. That's my wife works in the neuro field. Her company does studies on, they do clinical trials on Alzheimer's patients. So if a J&J or one of those big companies has a drug they want to put to market they think is going to be the cure, her company handles the testing, the clinical trials of that. So when she gets home, I hear a lot of stories about just amazing people that are dealing with Alzheimer's and their families dealing with Alzheimer's. So I have taken a big shift in my focus on what can improve brain health, especially as I get older. I want to I want to be sharp for a long time. I want to be able to, live as long as possible and remember the good things. Forget about some of the bad ones. Fish oil. I said there were three that I was going to tell you. I would probably recommend the majority of people take. Let's call this number four. Let's call it as number four, a rich source of omega-3s, omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA and DHA. So fish oil supports heart health, lowers cholesterol, lowers triglyceride, reduces blood pressure, prevents the formation of plaques that harden the arteries, improves brain function, supports eye health, reduces inflammation, may supports healthy skin, may improve bone health, may improve asthma symptoms and allergy risk. I made this slideshow on Saturday too, so I was like really sharp. I post workout. I can't believe I misspelled so much this time. These things happen. So, fish oil. If you eat salmon every day, you probably don't need fish oil. But if you're below what you think you should be at, you know, doesn't hurt to take it. And also, if you're cutting fats low, it's a good way to just get those healthy fats in without upping the calories too much. And on both sides, yeah, it's very tough to watch. And you know, I could go on a tangent. She used to be in pediatric neuropsychology, my wife, and I got to hear stories of kids with traumatic brain injuries. And when she left, I was like, oh, good, we're getting away from that. Now I hear about the older population and sometimes not so older population with Alzheimer's. I'm like, oh, it's not, you never want to say that happened to a kid, but I'm like, oh, we just shifted and it's tough. It's tough. So anything you can do to protect the brain is going to be a win. CoQ10. CoQ10. This one is a compound that helps generate energy in your cells. The body produces less with age, but you can get more from food or supplements. Benefits include anti-inflammatory and antioxidant effects, may improve heart health, may reduce inflammation, may promote the widening of blood vessels by increasing nitric oxide availability. Jenny prescribes that too. So look, we got the doc in the house telling us that she supports some of these. May reduce oxidative stress on the brain, reducing progression of diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, may help reduce insulin resistance in people with diabetes, and may improve cancer
Okay.
prevention or treatment. So another one that, probably going to be a win. Probably going to be a win where it's, not super cost prohibitive, but it's going to have some benefits there. Not one, I think for a lot of supplements, people look for like something you're going to feel or something. Am I going to get stronger? The stuff going on inside of your body is important too. So I've incorporated that for quite some time now. I've probably been consistently on CoQ10 for 6, 7 years, maybe. Sometimes you don't even think about it. I'll send a picture of my vitamin closet when we get off of here. Getting on CoQ10 tomorrow. Smart, smart. Digestive enzymes. So if you're somebody that deals with bloating, this is me. I deal with bloating. I deal with bloating. My gut doesn't react to certain foods. And if you're somebody who feels like you get puffy with meals, this is a good one. So they're proteins that help break down food into smaller, more absorbable nutrients. Stance on kimchi. Okay, you are on here. I was just talking about you. Were you on the whole time? You didn't even say anything. Didn't even say anything. We could talk kimchi. Yeah, no, make sure you go back about 10 minutes. We were just talking about you. I can talk about kimchi. So, digestive enzymes break things down, improve the digestion of carbs, fats, and protein, reduce symptoms of indigestion such as bloating, gas, and heartburn, improves nutrient absorption, leading to increased energy levels, helps manage conditions like IBS, Crohn's, and pancreatitis, supports healthy gut flora by breaking down harmful bacteria, may help regulate the appetite and reduce cravings by promoting efficient digestion, reduces inflammation in the gut, supporting immune function, may improve skin health. I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've just been very focused the past 2 weeks, or I've started incorporating two supplements I do not take regularly because, sometimes it get out of hand. You can spend an arm and a leg on these things. So, you know, it can get a little crazy, but I started incorporating digestive enzymes and probiotics 2 weeks ago, and I'm just noticing the bloat is less. I'm a little more regular, TMI. I'm a little more regular, and it's been good so far. So I'll probably stay on the digestive enzymes. Christina, I'm going to recommend, I'm going to send my list of what I personally take and have seen, positive results from. Obviously, nothing I've taken and don't like. Katrina asked about kimchi. It's a fermented food, can also help with digestion. Fermented foods, I probably should have covered that on the nutrition, can definitely help with digestion. When I first got diagnosed with bad acid reflux 8, 9, 10 years ago, they gave me a Jenny, what's the drug they give you? Come on, doc. Help my brain.
A PPI, a proton.
It was. Yep, it was. I can't think of the brand name though. But they gave me that to kill the acid reflux. I'll put you to work tonight, Jenny. Keep you engaged.
I'll send you a bill.
They gave me that. And, you see all these stupid ads on TV and they're like, mm, you know, all the wonderful things. And you see the guy running through the field and all these, he's throwing the football with this kid again. And then at the very end, like, if you're suicidal, if you have the, and they start running their mouths and telling you all these things. I was I was part of the 1% that got suicidal from that drug. I Within 24 hours, I went into a depression. And if you know me at all, I'm probably the least depressed person out there. I love life. I want to live as long as possible. I was down in the freaking dumps. I was just, I don't want to be around. I don't want to be, and I called the doctor. I'm like, this a side effect? And I mean, I should have known better. It's a long time ago. And she goes, oh yeah, about 1% of people, you should probably stop taking it right away. So I completely revamped my diet at that point, and I did a lot of focus on fermented foods to help break down some of that stuff that was causing me acid reflux. So I like them, Kat. Going off the rails as I do. I do like fermented foods, and I think they're good. Kimchi's a good one. Kimchi. What is the yogurt? There's a good yogurt that I'm not thinking of. It'll come.
Kefir.
Kefir. Thank you. Putting everybody to work tonight. Probiotics. This one's the one that goes hand in hand kind of with that. Live bacteria and yeast that have beneficial effects on your body. They aid in weight loss, improve digestion, enhance immune function, reduce systemic inflammation, shown to lower total and LDL cholesterol levels, may cause modest reductions in blood pressure, can be used for acne, rosacea, eczema, and other skin disorders, increase the cell's ability to replicate themselves. Kombucha, I drink that religiously then as well. I was big on the fermented train for a long time, just trying to clear all that stuff up. They tried to get me to quit coffee. And I said, absolutely not. They're like, that's probably your biggest red flag. I cut the dark chocolate, even though there's health benefits there. I cut the spicy foods until I married an Ecuadorian woman. Um, and then, but coffee was the real kicker. And I switched over to cold brew and I immediately stopped getting acid reflux. I go on we go on a cruise every once in a while and they don't have cold brew, my acid reflux will be back within 3 days because I still have my coffee, but I'm not gonna say no to it, but I can deal with it now that I know what's going on. So kombucha's good. Cold brew's, I'm telling you, cold brew totally saved me from acid reflux. Um, there is an interesting probiotic. I'm kind of not sure if I want to go because probiotic is many different strains. Probiotic. Let me see what I'm going to search real quick. But there's a new one. I don't know if so much new, but oh, mommy's home. Go see mommy. He didn't have dinner. I'm back. There's one that actually has a similar effect on the body as GLP-1. So it's a probiotic that also helps with GLP-1 levels in the body. Probiotic gut flora butyrate GLP-1. And I'll find it. I'll put it in the chat somewhere. But they're found one strain that actually does have a very similar effect to GLP-1. So very interesting. I geek out on all that science with this stuff. Nerd out all the time. CLA. This is another one. I just talked to Kat and told her, could provide a little added boost on the weight loss journey. It's not going to be crazy, but it's a conjugated linoleic acid, a type of fatty acid found in dairy and beef. So if you don't get a lot of beef, you're probably missing out on this one. I think 90 servings of this stuff was 20 bucks. It was 20 bucks, so it's not a big bank breaker. May help reduce body fat and improve body composition. May lower cholesterol levels and reduce the risk of heart disease. May have anti-cancer properties, particularly in breast and colon cancer. Reduces inflammation, could benefit those with conditions like arthritis, boost immune system, improve bone health, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes. So again, it's not gonna just, oh my God, I'm gonna lose 40 pounds just by taking this. But if it gets a little bit of extra burn in there, if that's your long-term goal, it's just that added boost. Added boost. Let's see. He did not. She didn't hear me the first time. Electrolytes, a lot. This one I had to put in here just because runners take it. I'm also sipping. Nope, I had the EAAs in here. Electrolytes, I tend to sip during my workout, but essential minerals that play vital roles in various body functions, support hydration and fluid balance throughout the body by attracting water into the cells and tissues, essential for nerve and muscle contractions. They facilitate the transmission of electrical impulses, ensuring smooth muscle movements and nerve signals. Potassium helps regulate heart rhythm and blood pressure. So, a lot of the electrolytes you'll find out there, make sure they've got potassium in them and preferably magnesium as well. So, if you just see, just salt or, just the salt portion, the NA, I would lean away from that. Potassium and magnesium help to buffer. We've all heard, especially if you were around in the 80s, salt's the devil. It's not. It's not. But if you've got any kind of heart condition, obviously check with your doctor on salt levels and how much they recommend you take in. But if you're a runner and you sweat a lot, make sure you got potassium in there, you got magnesium in there. Calcium and phosphate are electrolytes that are essential for building and maintaining strong bones. Magnesium plays a role in energy production by supporting the function of enzymes involved in metabolism. Another win. I sip that. I've noticed, just if I'm not doing a 5 a.m. workout, I can get up and have my, gym doesn't open till 7 on a Saturday, and I'm usually up a little longer. I will have my salt beforehand, and I notice instead of sipping it during the workout like I normally do, Monday through Friday, I notice performance improvement. Like I feel stronger, and I just feel like I've got that fuel. So it's a very good, helps with that pump as well. That pump feeling. Speaking of magnesium, this was what I say? I said I had 3. It turned into 4 that I would say I would recommend for the vast majority of people, as long as no, button heads with what your doctor says. A mineral vital to many processes in the body. Benefits: it's essential for the production of ATP. So without magnesium, the enzymes that produce ATP, we talked about that before, adenosine triphosphate, cannot function optimally, leading to low energy and fatigue. Plays a crucial role in bone health, helps the absorption of calcium into the bone, essential for maintaining a healthy heart rhythm and preventing hypertension, relaxes the muscles of the heart and blood vessels, natural relaxant. So if you're somebody that has struggles to sleep, this is when I'd say look into incorporating. If you're somebody who suffers from anxiety, this can help bring that down. I think there's a lot of benefits to magnesium, and even in the food supply, they're finding there's less of it in our food than there was 40 years ago. So just from processing and all that fun stuff, it's natural relaxant, helps with muscle contraction, helps prevent cramps and spasms, crucial for nervous system regulation, plays an important role in regulating blood sugar levels, may help depression and anxiety. And I take this one every single night before bed. I don't mind. I know most of you for a while now. I'll give you too much information. I'll give you too much information. I went through it about a year ago where I was using the potty a lot in the middle of the night. I had to pee a lot in the middle of the night. And get older, you start wondering, oh my God, I gotta go to the doctor. So I went to the urologist. They wanted me to check out my prostate and all that fun stuff. And nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. She was, you're healthy as a horse. What's your water intake like throughout the day? I'm like, it's pretty high. This is my 3rd giant jug that you can't see because I have my background on. There it is. 3rd giant jug today, and I'll probably have some more. 3rd giant jug I had today. Probably have a little. I'm trying to read the questions at the same time. But then I was also having a magnesium at night, and I was having it in a glass of water about that big. And she's like, Yeah, you're already overhydrated during the day and you're drinking a giant glass. That's why you pee at night, dummy. So I had nothing to worry about, but it's always good to make sure. Always good to make sure. I believe the one, Jenny, that I take is the glycinate. I believe that's true. Amy likes pillar. And most magnesiums are going to be good. Magnesium spray is actually good from aloe. I haven't heard of that one. For topical from aloe, orally gives me nightmares. Topical, not so much. Interesting. I don't know that it would make you tired, but it would help you. It should help you de-stress. So, when people talk about it being good for sleep, it's more so it calms the mind and calms the body and helps you to get into that rest and digest state versus, if you're somebody who lays in bed and is like, what do I have to do tomorrow? Oh my God, I gotta get here by this time and I gotta do this by that time. And then I gotta pick up the kids and then I'm gonna get over here. And oh my God, I'm not gonna have enough time in the day. And then your brain starts racing and you're staring at the ceiling. It helps regulate that versus melatonin, which is just gonna like knock you out. It's a person with high cortisol and anxiety. It doesn't make me tired. I just relax enough to sleep and stay asleep. Good. I like it. Glycinate definitely helps calm the mind. Enough time in the day. That is not me. Or Canada trips. Yeah, the Canada trips stress you out, girl. I know. You got another one coming. So Amy mentioned cortisol, and I had somebody ask me to add some cortisol supplements in here. There's going to be two main ingredients in cortisol supplements, two main ones. You might see a couple more. I might have missed some, but these are the two that are primarily used. Ashwagandha. So I'm not currently taking ashwagandha. I don't feel like I'm in a high stress state, but if I'm really beating up my body and I know I'm doing a little too much based around my goals, I will incorporate that to just downregulate my central nervous system. It's an herb used in traditional Indian medicine, believed to have a number of health benefits, reduces stress and anxiety by lowering cortisol, hormone released in response to stress, increases muscle strength, endurance, and improves recovery time, helps with cognitive function, may increase testosterone levels in men. That's a may help regulate blood sugar levels, improve sleep quality by reducing stress and anxiety. So big one, it's probably you'll probably see KSM ashwagandha on there. That's one of the most common ingredients in a cortisol supplement. The sister, rhodiola. Rhodiola. So, an adaptogenic herb offering a range of potential benefits, including reduced stress, fatigue, improved mental performance, and enhanced physical endurance. I've taken rhodiola by itself before just for the stress relief and noticed that there's a couple different forms. You might find ginseng in those cortisol ones too. But stress and fatigue reduction helps the body cope with stress and reduces feelings of fatigue in stressful situations. Improve mental performance. You see, there's a lot of improved mental performance with a lot of these. Improve physical performance, reduces perceived exertion during workouts. It's that feeling of when you're tired, you're gassed. It can reduce that feeling, potentially could lead you to longer and more efficient exercise sessions. There goes my spell checker. It took me a while to figure that one out. Potential anti-anxiety and antidepressant effects, may have protective benefits on the heart, and may regulate the blood pressure. Cortisol. So I feel like I'm missing one and it's bothering me. So I'm just gonna see what I'm missing in my head. I try to put a good amount in here, but I didn't also want to overwhelm. I already feel like I probably am overwhelming with information. This isn't your cue to go out and buy all of the supplements in the world, but if something speaks to you and you're like, wow, that's something I think I might have a benefit. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the first form, their cortisol blend. It's got ashwagandha and it's got rhodiola, but also chamomile flower, shatavari powder. Never not too versed with that one. Gotu kola, which is very similar to rhodiola, licorice root, eleuthero root, ashwagandha is a big one on there, schizandra berry, and DMAE. So there's some little smaller ones. Jenny, I'm gonna share a link with like all these stuff, but I'll share that too. But that's I've taken the first form one before. And again, if you're having a high stressful season of life, that's when I kind of throw those out there where I'm like, let's get a little rough. Let's see if I can just give myself a little extra layer of protection to embrace the calm. Collagen, I know this one's a hot topic right now. A lot of people taking collagen, an abundant protein making up 30% of all protein in the body, makes up the structure of tendons, ligaments, cartilage, muscles, blood vessels, organs, hair, skin, nails, and intestinal lining. It helps the fibroblasts form in your dermis, the middle layer of the skin. So helps new cells grow, plays a role in replacing dead skin cells, plays a protective covering for provides a protective covering for organs, gives structure, strength, and elasticity to your skin, potentially relieves joint pain, may prevent bone loss, may boost muscle mass, may promote heart health. I've taken collagen here or there. I've never noticed too much of a difference on anything there. Maybe I'm doing too much already. So I would just not something I'm currently invested in. I would maybe consider taking it again, but it's not something I already get my whey protein. Yeah, it's good, but I didn't notice too much from it, so I kind of discontinued it off my list of things I take. Getting towards the end. MCT oil, I added this one because a lot of people have asked me in the private chats, which if you have questions, ask them in the private chats. If I'm slow to get back to them, I apologize. You get a good amount of them, but if you're not asking me questions, you better get on it. MCT oil, a lot of people that are on keto, that follow a keto diet for whatever reason, will take MCT oil. It's a medium chain triglyceride oil, type of fat extracted from coconut or palm kernel oil, supports weight management. You pretty much just drink liquid fat, but don't think about fat as in fat, but not body fat, dietary fat, healthy fat. Promotes satiety, reduces overall calorie intake. It's quickly absorbed and converted into energy, so it does give you a little boost. Cognitive function and memory boost, can promote the growth of beneficial gut bacteria, and may help reduce cholesterol and reduce inflammation. That's it. Now we open it for questions where I get rid of that slide. My stepdad hunts for chaga mushrooms and uses it all the time. Am I back on the screen? Yeah, I'm back on the screen. We got rid of my screen share, right? Can you see me again?
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. Welcome back. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I can't be seen. Hunts for chaga mushrooms and uses it all the time. He swears by those health benefits. I have not tried it. You see, that took 53 minutes for me to run through about 32. I could have probably kept going. I could have probably made this a two-parter. But you go down the rabbit hole with supplements. There's so many out there. I think that guy, Brian Johnson, I talked about him a few times already, where he's the guy spending like 100 million a year on just biohacking his body to attempt to live forever. Dude looks like a vampire. He's not getting sun exposure. Um, but I think his supplement count was at like 120 something different supplements a day or something like that. It's like going way overboard. Going way overboard. You don't need that, but look for what helps you. Mushrooms are one of those ones where uh my one-on-one I was just on with before you guys and gals, she drinks the rise mushroom coffee. So I think you get chaga in there, you get lion's mane, you get a couple different ones, and it's mushrooms have tons of health benefits. I could have went down the rabbit hole there. Could have went down the rabbit hole, but I didn't. Karen takes it in a coffee. It can help with regularity too, if that's an issue for you. Accurate. That's what I used to do. So I did keto for a couple of years and I really fell in love with a blended coffee with one serving of Kerrygold butter and MCT oil. I love the flavor of that. I almost like, not even for the keto benefits, I almost want to just buy that butter just to have a buttered MCT oil this weekend coffee. Like that just sounds good to me. If you blend it right, it tastes really good. How does Ryan Johnson take? I want to know how many he takes daily. I'm looking it up. Brian Johnson's name's not Ryan Johnson. The biohacker takes over 100 supplements a day. and continuously monitors over 200 health markers. That's something you can also do. You can get hormone tests, you can get blood panels, and ask for a comprehensive blood panel from your doctor. I was shocked to hear that, oh, you know what? I didn't put vitamin D3 and K2 on there. See, look, that was the third one I was going to say. Creatine, magnesium, D3 and K2. And then the bonus one, what did I say the bonus one was? The bonus fish oil, D3 and K2. I live in Central Florida. I'm outside a good amount. I run outside. I would have never imagined I would be low in vitamin D. And I got a comprehensive blood panel. And one of the things they said, they were like, you're extremely low on vitamin D. I'm like, how's that even possible? Started supplementing with it. And then a couple months later, got tested again. Everything was in order. So I just stuck with it. It's one of those ones that I just go in my little pill vial and I stick with. Questions? No questions tonight? You're quiet? We grew to 25 people. What's everybody's goals for the rest of the week? Doctors don't check for ferritin. Fill me in. Come on, Kat.
They normally just check for the iron in the blood count, not the actual iron in the blood. So when they check for the iron in the blood, people may or may not be anemic.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm gonna hit the Google machine with that after this. That intrigues me. That intrigues me. Iron, that was another one. I really could have just kept going. I think this might be just an evergreen slide set that I have and bring it out every once in a while because we've already mentioned two that I just completely forgot to put on there that I think is important. But when Kim was when Kim when she was vegetarian, she wasn't vegan. I used to screw that up all the time. She ate eggs. She ate very rarely, very, very rarely at the time fish. But I forgot what else. Something else she was having. But when she was done, I said your iron content's low. It's that and a couple other things you need to supplement with because you're missing out on these nutrients. And her energy was just shot. She was just tired all the time, sleeping for like 9.5, 10 hours a night. I said you got to start incorporating some of these things. And as she started incorporating meat again, she noticed energy levels start to come back, energy levels improve. So it was all a big win. Supplement you could go through all the B vitamins on here. There's B12, B3. Can your ferritin level be too high? I don't want to comment on that. I'd have to do my research and talk to some of my doctor peoples. Is that the one where you have too much iron in the blood? I'll do some research on that. Low ferritin. Okay. My derm just did the most comprehensive panel I've ever done. Interesting. I'm intrigued. Now I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and go talk to I might go get a new blood panel. Maybe I'll have like a guest on here. I'll do a blood panel and then I'll have them run you through it all. Have my doc talk it up. You don't have to. I'll ask my brother. He has too much iron in the blood. Too much iron's a thing too. Too much iron. I know some bodybuilders that get that, and they say they had too much iron in the blood, so they regularly give blood. And I was like, that's interesting. Found that very interesting. I found it. She sure did test it. A lot of effect on appearance and skin and hair. Okay. You just sent me down a rabbit hole. I told myself I was getting off the computer early tonight so that it doesn't keep me up, but now I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole. Thank you for the ferritin deeds. I'll share the video of this shortly. Share the video. I will share the all of my personal favorite sources on each of them and that Amazon link for Jenny so she could check it out. And then what do we got? What do we got? on Monday. I forgot what I put on the schedule. Is it recovery? Where's my schedule? Oh man. How's recovery going, Krista? You finally turned your camera on.
I was eating before.
It's allowed.
It's going well. Limited pain. And yeah, I just got her right out. Oh, except my complex decided to shut the pool down because they need to repair something. I don't know. So that got thrown out of the water. Yeah, but luckily I have a stationary bike at work.
Got thrown out of the water. See what you did there.
You like that?
I see what you did there. I see it.
But
Well, I'm glad you're on the road to recovery. I think I'm happy you're finally moving forward. Oh, here we go. So next week we'll talk recovery on Monday. If you have questions on Monday or for Monday, and I'm thinking recovery methods, things you can do after your workout to feel better. The workouts, at the max an hour of your day, unless you're doing like long run training, some hour of your day. I like to think about what I can do in the other 23 hours to optimize and perform my best, feel my best, live my best, and live my best life. So that's kind of going to be the focus there. If you have any recovery devices or methodologies you want me to cover, please let me know. And then Thursday, we'll talk about sleep. Next week's call will be Thursday at 5:30, a little earlier because I'm doubling down on calls on Thursday because I'm finally cashing in my wife's Valentine's Day gift that I bought her, taking her to see Goo Goo Dolls on Wednesday night in St. Augustine. She is a diehard Goo Goo Dolls fan. So if you'd like to see videos of her in tears, follow me on Instagram because I will just be blasting her crying to the guy. Y'all seen that Goo Goo Dolls guy lately? Way too much Botox. Way too much Botox. He's all crazy looking. But we'll do Thursday, 5:30. That'll be sleep and then open forum. So I won't have a whole slideshow. We'll cover a little bit on sleep. Then I'm going to let some other people do the talking. Bring questions to Thursdays, please. Bring questions. And with that, I'll leave you. Go eat dinner unless you're Kristen, you already ate. Have a good night.
Bye.
night.